It is a Football Friday right here on the Sports Grid Network. And my goodness, get ready for the action, the anticipation, because we need a head coach that can tell us what the heck is going on in some of these environments. I'm Donnie Rightside. I'm not a head coach. He's Joe Raineri. He's not a head coach. But you know what we got on now? Terry Bowden. You see him a lot on the Sports Grid Network on the Bowden Blitz with Joe Lisi. Terry, it's a Friday. We're ready. How about you?
I love it. Love it. Every Friday, getting ready for that Saturday. And now that I'm getting to analyze the games, I'm undefeated. I haven't lost a single game this year.
Whoa. Whoa, Coach Bowden is rolling. We love
that's coaching the game. That's coaching. That's not picking it. That's coaching it.
You got it, Coach. Last week we had you on, and we're certainly going to have you on again on college football today. But the big game of the week last week was Ohio State and Texas. Very good defensive battle. Tough place to play. First-time environment in the shoe for Arch Manning. Let me talk to you about this week. You've been in this situation probably many times before. High expectations for Arch Manning. You lose game number one. How do you coach up Arch Manning? Is it a lot of love coaching up? Is it coaching him hard? And also setting him up for success in a game where Texas should roll this week?
Now, both those things. One, you do have to put your arms around him and say, relax, calm down. He was a rookie in big games. The shoe is a difficult place to play. In a lot of ways, he was a rookie. He has started some lesser games. And so he's human. And he started out with that kind of performance. Sarkisian needs to give him a great game. He needs to have numbers. And Sarkisian said after the game, we need more explosive plays. So look for about 350 to 400 yards, 4 or 5 touchdown passes. That's what he needs. Steve Sarkisian can give him that against a San Jose State team that lost to Central Michigan. I'm just saying the best remedy is to have a big game, lots of explosive plays, the things they couldn't do against Ohio State.
Coach, we spoke to you last week. I think you had a birthday party somewhere near Tallahassee, I believe there. Boy, that must have been some celebration after watching Florida State just smack down Alabama, huh?
Yeah, the Knowles gave my mother her best 93rd birthday present she's had in a long time with that big win. You know, my dad's favorite team growing up was Alabama, so that was a big win in the Bowden family, I promise you. But, boy, I picked them to cover the spread. I mean, 13.5 points, but that kind of game could never have known it. I said it on X. I said it on the internet. What was Alabama thinking? There's a book on Gus Malzahn that's 50 chapters. Half of them against Alabama. They should have known what to defend against FSU.
Yep. Coach, let me ask you a question because I love this. You know, when we say like back in the day in the 1990s, like, players weren't getting paid, transfer rules were tougher. Talk to me about now a college coach like Norvell that says, I'm going to completely do like a line change on my football team, have one off season with them and come out with that type of effort. That's unbelievable. The fast way you can turn programs around by getting a lot of players in the building.
No, really, and coordinators. Look how many teams are changing coordinators mid-season at the end of the year. You don't hit on all of them. But if you hit on the right ones, and at FSU, it was Tommy Castellanos from Boston College at quarterback. Gus Malzahn is the coordinator with an offensive style that's very hard to stop. He pulled out all the tricks, all the specials. He's been calling plays in Division I, Power 4 for the last 15 years. And Alabama had no answer for it. You know, he was 6-6 against Alabama when he was at Arkansas and at Auburn and the places he'd been. So he had a good track record. Like I say, amazed that Alabama couldn't go back and study that video. I think they watched too much of 2024. But when you bring in that many kind of transfers, you've just got to hit on a few. And if you can hit on the quarterback, that could change everything.
Coach, rivalries are always great, usually always favor the home team. But one of my favorite rivalries every year is the Cy-Hawk, where you got Iowa taking on Iowa State. And, Coach, the home team never wins in this game. It's always Iowa State hasn't won a game against Iowa at home in years. So what gives here?
Well, I think Matt Campbell's a difference maker. I think he's one of the best coaches in the country. I coached against him when I was at Akron. He was at Toledo. Very few penalties in the game, very few turnovers, makes many. His players play great fundamental football, and Rocco Beck plays just like his head coach coaches. He goes out there, leads and manages, doesn't make mistakes, and at the end of the day, that's why you have to go with Iowa State in this game in Ames.
How about this one, Coach? Monster game, 7:30 on Saturday night, Michigan and Oklahoma, the game of the weekend here. Michigan with a young quarterback going into a hostile environment. Talk to us about that Michigan-Oklahoma game. Slight favorite to Oklahoma here.
Yeah, well, it's being played in Norman, and that's big. I've been in Norman twice. Billy Sims was the tailback when I played against Oklahoma. That'll take you back to the 70s. But Mayfield, when I took my Akron team over there, it's a great home field advantage when they're electric and when they're on fire. I think that's what's going on there. The biggest difference, a mature veteran quarterback in John Mateer, transfer from Washington State, against a Bryce Underwood who goes into this stadium as a true freshman. Even tougher on him than it was on Arch Manning. And look what Arch Manning happened to him at the Shoe in Columbus, Ohio. So, again, the difference in the level of experience of the two quarterbacks. And then the other thing, Brent Venables has taken over the defense. I was with Akron as an analyst when he was there. He loves to dial up explosive, exotic blitzes. He'll have blitzes for that quarterback that he has not seen in the first game. If Michigan does not run the well enough and have to go to the pass too early, the quarterback's going to be cut. They're going to come after that quarterback. That's why I've got Oklahoma in this game, mainly because of the veteran quarterback, but also Brent Venables running the defense.
We got two experienced quarterbacks in South Florida and Florida, though, don't we, here, Coach? This might be a little bit closer than people think, huh?
Yeah, but I'm not going to go there. It'll start out that way, but DJ Lagway have had Florida on a roll since the second half of last season. He's explosive. There's incredible confidence down there, and I think it stays close for a while. But Boise State against USF last week, 3 fumbles they lost, gave up a fake punt, missed 3 fourth downs. Everything went wrong at Boise. I don't think it's that much of a difference to a team that was 6-7. 7-6 last year. So I still have this game in Florida, even with the spread. And that may not sound like it should be, but if you go back and look at the two teams, I'm seeing 40-17, 40-20. I see it about right there, but I still see Florida on the roll because after this, they come to where they got LSU, Texas, and Miami. They better get this one by a comfortable score.
He's our coach. It's Terry Bowden. Catch him on the Sports Grid Network on the Bowden Blitz with Joe Lisi. We'll see him tomorrow on College Football Today as well. Thanks, Coach. It was Grand Theft Auto for Joe Raineri yesterday. He had a win. He had money in his back pocket, and he got robbed last night in Pittsburgh versus Los Angeles. He ain't getting robbed tonight, Joe. Where are we going?
Yeah, well, I'm going to go to college football here tonight, Donnie. We got 2 games on tap, and I actually like both of these games, but the reality is I think both these lines are way overinflated, especially when it comes to Maryland here, who beat up on a FAU team that turned the ball over not once, not twice, but 6 times in that game. Maryland is trotting out there a true freshman quarterback, not a ton of experience, but when you give the guy all sorts of field position early on at home, things were going to go well there, and they did. But I think that score was a little misleading against FAU, and now you got a Northern Illinois team that just got by Holy Cross. But this was a Northern Illinois team, that got absolutely robbed of all its players in the transfer portal, all going to big time, top schools here. But what they have is a great program there and the ability to recruit and actually keep kids in the program without hopefully getting them to run to someplace else. Good defense. They've got a quarterback with experience. There is no way in the world Maryland should be laying 17 points. And this opened up, Donnie, was as high as 18 last week. So we're starting to see the buyback, and I agree with it. I think defense wins out, and Northern Illinois has got the better one here. So I like them to stay within this number.